Premier League action from Fratton Park as Portsmouth welcome Chelsea, knowing that they've never beaten the Londoners in this league. But under Paul Hart, Pompey have undergone somewhat of a mini revival. They've collected 4 points in 2 outings since Tony Adams was sacked. Gus Hiddink has a 100% record thanks to Frank Lampard's late winner against Wigan. Glenn Johnson faces his former side. The first half really ebbed and flowed in what were atrocious conditions. Full marks to both sides, who played some fantastic football. Full marks too to the goalkeepers, who kept a clean sheet through the first half. First real opportunity on goal, Frank Lampard dinking through Didier Drogba. The Ivorian really has suffered through injury this season, only bagged 1 in the league up until this evening. Through on goal, James sprinting off his line, smothered the danger and the chance went begging. Meanwhile, at the opposite end, Peter Cech was performing miracles too. Portsmouth's best chance of the half coming on 28 minutes. This really was a venomous shot from Sean Davis. Picked it up on the outside of the box, struck it first time, Cech stuck out an arm. What a wonderful save. James too was tested from distance in very tricky wet conditions. Lampard picking up the ball on the edge of the box. A good move this, well struck by the England midfielder. The England goalkeeper pulling off a fine save. The danger was eventually scrambled away. Chelsea, knowing if they are to have any hope of lifting the Premier League title, they need to win the remainder of their games and hope that Manchester United slip up. But they very nearly ceded that position as a scramble in the penalty area very nearly gave the opening goal to Nico Cranchar. From a corner, former Blue Glenn Johnson with the initial header. It wasn't cleared. Nervy moments for Chelsea. But at the other end, they too were testing their opponents. And again from the set piece, Michael Ballack coming close. For many, he's underperformed for Chelsea this season. Yet to score in the league. He's only scored 3 in the FA Cup. The German had his chance. It went over the crossbar. With Liverpool playing on the same evening, Chelsea had their eyes on the result at Anfield too, knowing that if they slipped up here, they could slip to 3rd in the table. Alex fancied his chance from distance when a free kick came his way. David James again pulling off a remarkable save as the rain continued to fall, the conditions getting slippier and slippier. At half-time, neither team able to break the deadlock. Fine goalkeeping from both sides. Portsmouth 0, Chelsea 0. So all to play for in the second period, and Portsmouth not in the least bit overawed by their opponents. They very nearly got on the score sheet through David Nugent. Just 3 goals to his name so far this season. On the hour mark, Peter Cech called into action again. This time, Route 1 football via Peter Crouch. Nugent through on goal. The big Czech Republic keeper stood firm and casually dismissed the shot. Chelsea again saved by their stopper. A couple of changes at half-time as Gus Hiddink brought on Belletti and also Ricardo Quaresma. The Portuguese delighted on the right wing and very nearly set up Didier Drogba for the opening goal. It was one of the few times that the Chelsea attack turned the Portsmouth defence. Drogba dropping to the near post, his header over James's crossbar. It was a frustrating evening for all those who braved the wet, wintry conditions. Was this going to be a 0-0 encounter? Well, Portsmouth were giving it their best shot, and on the counter-attack, they should have scored. Peter Crouch with the whole of Fratton Park to himself, squaring it for Cranchar, whose effort eventually went wide. It would have been harsh on Chelsea if this one had gone in, because on closer inspection, it appeared that Cranchar actually handled ball ahead of shooting. Either way, the score remained Portsmouth 0, Chelsea 0, until the 79th minute. Basingwa's cross was toe-poked by Ashley Cole into the path of Didier Drogba, who gratefully picked up the gift. No one was near him. He slammed it past James for his second league goal of the campaign. Portsmouth 0, Chelsea 1. It was hard lines on Portsmouth, who defended in numbers and defended stoically. Finally, their defences had been breached. But full marks to the home side. They kept pressing until the very last minute. Set pieces, corners, even David James coming forward for one as well. It was a nervous end for Chelsea, but they held out. The final score at Fratton Park, Portsmouth 0, Chelsea 1.